Hello po mga ka-channel. Welcome po. Pag-uusapan po natin this afternoon ang adding and subtracting of integers in the easy way. Bakit po easy way? Kasi po ito ay para sa mga estudyante mula grade 5, grade 6 at saka sa grade 7 na maaaring hindi naman na-introduce sa kanila or hindi pa na-introduce sa kanila yung rules of adding and subtracting of integers. At kung na-introduce man, maaari ding nakukonfuse sila. So bigyan natin sila ng mas maikli at mas madaling paraan sa paggawa at pag-solve nito. So let us first have the adding of integers using the drawing. Why drawing? Because we'll be drawing here, okay? And here the steps actually include the words draw, cancel, and count. And you will understand as we are going to discuss it one by one. Taking into consideration the example here, negative 9 plus 5, okay? Number 1, so we can solve that one, no? The negative 9 plus 5. Number 1, draw. What are we to draw? I-draw po natin yung P. P to represent the positive, okay? Draw P's and then N for the negative. So that's why it says here, draw P's for positive and N's for negative. So in the example above, negative 9 plus 5, nauna yung negative, kaya i-draw natin ng ang 9 na negatives, alright? 9 negatives, meaning 9 N's. And then after that, plus 5. So we'll be drawing here, alright, below the horizontally, alright, horizontally, 5 P's, meaning 5 positives, alright? So after that, we'll proceed to number 2, which is cancel pairs of N and P. So there are how many? As you can see, there are 5, no? 5 pares ng N and P na pwede mo i-cancel. So pag ma-cancel na yan, you then proceed to number 3. What is number 3? Count. Okay, you count what were left. Is it the N or the P? In this case, it's the N. So you count how many N's are there. So N is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 N's. And that you conclude, and you can say that the answer for that, negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. Another example, 10 plus negative 3. Alright, we are to add 10 plus negative 3. So positive plus a negative. We will apply the words draw, cancel, and count. Let's have first number 1, draw. Draw the positives or negatives. Alright, since the given is positive yung first, so we'll be writing 10 positives or 10 P's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you draw 10 P's. And then since negative 3, there are only 3 N's for that. That represents for the negative 3. That would be N, N, and N. Alright? Next, you go to number 2, cancel. You cancel lahat ng pares na mayroon P and N tayo. So as you see, there are only 3. No, there are only 3 that you can cancel here. So you may do canceling that like this. Okay, and so you go to number 3, count how many were left. So you count all the p's that were left at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so there are 7 p's that were left. So therefore, your answer for that integers, operation of the integer is 10, operation of integer 10 plus negative 3 is 7. Another example, our example number 3 is negative 10 plus negative 3. Okay, so we will apply the draw, cancel, count or DCC. We will be writing down negative 10 in terms of n, so we will write 10 n's. And then after that, the negative 3, so there are 3 n's, negative 3, no? That represented by 3 n's here. And then after that, you cancel pair of n and p. But as you notice, there's none, alright? There's no such N and P pairing. So you directly count how many N's were there. Alright? How many N's were there? So as you count, there are 13 N's. So that would be your answer. Negative 13, meaning there are 13 N's or 13 negatives. So negative 10 plus negative 3 is negative 13. Now let's proceed to subtracting integers by drawing also. So we will follow the same steps, the draw, cancel, and count. Let's take, for example, negative 10 minus 3. So it's minus this time. So here the technique is always place plus sign after the minuend. Where's our minuend here? It's a negative 10. All right, that's a negative 10. So the number that is where we subtract our next number, all right, that's a minuend. Thus, in our example, it will become negative 10, and then insert the plus sign because according here, always place plus sign after the minuend. So plus the negative 3, we enclose it in parentheses because there's a plus already, and so it becomes like this. Then you employ the method writing p's or n's, the ones that we use in addition. So first draw. So you draw 10 negatives, so 10 n's. And then you draw 3 negatives and then 3 n's. And so you can see you're supposed to cancel, but as you look into the result, there are no pairings of n and p. So you don't cancel at all, alright? Instead, you count how many n's were there. So how many n's were there? You count it all, and that you will find out that there are 13 n's. Therefore, your answer for that expression, negative 10 plus negative 3, is negative 13. Alright. Now let's come to the next example for subtracting integers by drawing. What if the example given is negative 9 minus 4 or negative 9 negative 4? So the technique will apply, alright? You always place plus sign after the minuend, then that is 9. So that means negative 9, then you add plus sign after it. So the given will become negative 9 plus a negative 4, okay? Plus negative 4, and that is what you are going to solve now. So you employ the method that we have for addition, okay? The draw, cancel, and count. So you draw how many p's if there are positives, and you draw n's if there are negatives. But in this case, you see the first is n, negative, so there are 9 n's, so 9, that's negative 9, and 4 n's for negative 4. Then for number 2, you are to cancel supposedly, but as you notice, walang pairings ng n and p, so you cannot cancel because our technique is we will cancel pares ng n and p, but there's none. Alright, all n's are found here. So all you have to do is count all the n's that were left. When you counted it all, of course that's 10, which is 9, okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13, yeah, exactly 13. So there are 13 n's. Therefore, your answer for that expression, negative 9 minus 4 is equal to negative 13. Here's another example. The minuend is positive, but it says here 7 minus negative 4. Right, 7 minus negative 4. So you see there's an inclusion of parentheses because two signs are consecutively written. So the technique, if the given is like that, is if you see the two negative signs consecutively written, change it to plus sign. All right, the two negatives must be changed to plus sign. Thus, our example becomes 7 plus 4. Instead of 7 minus the negative 4, it will become 7 plus 4. And that in that way, we are adding already. And you are going to employ our method for adding integers. So you draw, cancel, and count. Let's try to find out if it is possible. All right, since 7 is positive, so you draw 7 p's, and 4 is positive, so you draw 4 p's. And you do cancellation for the next, but as you notice, there's no pairings of n and p again. All are p's, right? All are p's. So you count na lang all the p's here. All right, and that will be your third step. Counting all the p, you will have 11 p's, and that therefore you can conclude that 7 minus the negative 4 is equal to positive 11. Alright, and important to remember, this lesson is just to let learners start from very simple way and gradually do it mentally, then become prepared and ready to understand the rules and as well as its applications. Thank you for watching.